I'm so delighted to be here with you today. I'm so pleased that you would come back and share and be with me. I want to continue on in this process that I started some time ago, where I had some writings and I called it God and Goddess Live. And the basis behind this is that I wanted to know, as a curious young boy, and actually as an adult as well, what goes on the other side? What are they all about? What are this God and Goddess thing all about? And what is happening? And what are they like? And what do they think about? And more importantly, what I'm interested in is, what are their characteristics? What are their qualities? What are the things that are important to them as a god, as a goddess, the male and the female divine, that I can somehow learn from and emulate? In other words, if I can find out what the greatest intelligences, the most wise of all the universe are up about, and that it's important to them and what their qualities are, if I could emulate that and learn what it is that I could do to improve my life, then that's a big deal. So what I want you to do is, I'm trying to create a series with I'm calling adventures. I'm on adventure 4 today, and basically, what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to share with the world the greatest ideas, the greatest qualities of the greatest intelligence, the most wise of the universe with you. Hopefully, what we can do is we can expand and develop on these ideas and become that ourselves while we're here on the earth. These are the highest ideals. And I'm looking forward to talking more with you about this. And this is what I'm going to talk about today, which is the number 4, which is integrity. And it's so interesting, so fascinating. I think you're going to love it. And I hope it'll bring up a whole bunch of questions and also some shifts in our lives. Here we go.
Let us now talk about another quality of God and Goddess, that of integrity. This may surprise you that this comes up at this stage, because this quality is not often attached to God, but we are doing so now. Once you see why this is important, you will agree fully. Integrity is the ability to make things happen, either in the way that one designates, or in a way that is better suited than the original idea. How do you think nature works? What if the sun is late to work, or if the sharks do not eat when they are hungry? Nature works on the principle of integrity. It does what it is designed for, and does it without questions, and without errors that are unforeseen. When God speaks, the elements combine to fulfill the requests and command. This did not happen yesterday, or on a relaxed timetable. This happens in the instant that it was designed to happen, and not before. Being early is often as destructive as being late. When a command is given or a design finalized, gods make sure that they are accomplished, and accomplished with expertise and precise detail. Can you imagine the moon showing up early, or the fall showing up in the spring? What would happen if the tides did not happen, or the wind stopped blowing? It is crucial to all of nature that processes be timed with amazing accuracy, and that they occur precisely when they are designed to. Without this kind of trust and consistency, all of life would be in even more chaos.
There are some very profound concepts that came out of this section. God said, integrity is the ability to make things happen, either in the way that one designates or in a way that is better suited than the original idea. There's been a lot of stuff talking about integrity. And what we're saying here is that, let's say in your personal life, in our personal lives, if we could make things happen in the way that we designate or in an improved version of that, how often are you able to have that happen in your life? And depending on your answer, that's what it means as to how much integrity you have in your life. The second section here talks about nature works on the principle of integrity. So amazing. It does what it is designed for, and does it without questions and without errors that are unforeseen. In other words, the nature is foreseeing all the potential errors that are possible. Isn't this amazing to look around and see how nature works this way? It does exactly what it's designed for, and there's no questions, it just happens. It is crucial to all of nature that processes be timed with amazing accuracy, and that they occur precisely when they are designed to. Without this kind of trust and consistency, all of life would be even in more chaos. Can you imagine if things just started to mess up, that you couldn't rely on your watch, you couldn't rely on time, that the seasons, that the animals, that the sun, that the earth, that all these things started to go away? They stopped working, or they worked randomly and we could have no confidence in them that they would work. What would happen to the weatherman? He's going to be in trouble because he's trying to tell us when the weather is going to happen. And if it changes and it goes on its own and doesn't think anything about changing up and doing something different, what's he going to do for a business? Think about this. When God speaks, the elements combine to fulfill the request and command. Think about that just for a moment. What would happen if certain things didn't work, like physical laws that we trust? Like, let's just say that gravity stopped working and everybody started flying away. Let's just say that fusion stopped working and the sun just turned off for the night. Let's say that when you pushed on something, nothing happened. It's so profound to think about how integrity is so deeply interconnected with nature and with our life, that when God speaks, everything combines and comes together and fulfills that command instantly. Imagine if we were like that. Imagine if we could be like God in this regard, where if we said something, that we would do something, that it would happen, and it would happen instantly. Do you have anybody in your life that frequently tells you, I'll get that done, and then it never happens? Do you have some areas in your life where you're flaky? I know I am. I'll say I can get this done by this time, and it doesn't happen. Or I'll say this will happen, it doesn't happen. Or there's a big gap, though. So I say if it's going to happen on this time, then it happens later on. Integrity is such a deep and important concept, and we could talk about it for weeks. But I want to touch on it here because they brought this up as a very important aspect of what it means to be God. This did not happen yesterday or on a relaxed timetable. This happens in the instant that it was designed to happen and not before. So when God speaks and when he or she says this is going to happen, it's not like later, it's not before, it's in that instant. Isn't that remarkable? Being early is often as destructive as being late. When a command is given or a design finalized, God's, plural, meaning all of us, make sure that they are accomplished with expertise and precise detail. This is an area that is so interesting to me because sometimes I don't do all the details. I'll do like most of it, but maybe not the final touches. And this is an area that I have a huge interest in improving in myself. Do you know anybody that says certain things and all it is just lip service? When this happens, the gods make sure that is accomplished and accomplished with expertise and precise detail. What do you think would happen in the world if everybody was able to act like this? Can you imagine if people said that they would do something or that something would happen and it happened in that instant, regularly, with expertise and with detail, precise detail? How would the world change if we had this kind of quality in us? Can you see why this is so important to find out more about them, about the divine, and find out about what their qualities are? Because this helps us to step up. This helps us to see what we can be. We have a model now as to how things work. And we're explaining this through these concepts that they've shared with me. And what we're able to do then is we're able to elevate our own selves, look at these concepts and start to develop them in ourselves. And then we start to shift ourselves, obviously, but then the world shifts. So great, so beautiful. It is crucial to all of nature that processes be timed with amazing accuracy and that they occur precisely when they are designed to. Without this kind of trust and consistency, all of life would be even in more chaos. Isn't that true? Can you imagine if right now I was speaking to you and I thought I was sending out words and the words went out somewhere else and came back in a week? Can you imagine if you had some lunch and your stomach just decided to digest it next month? What would happen if you didn't have this amazing accuracy and that they occur exactly when they're designed? There's so many ramifications of this when you think about it. It gets really crazy. However, we have this set of consistencies, we have this dependence, and that means that we can trust things. I can speak to you, I can eat, I can do things that make for life to be so much simpler and reliable. It gets back to us, and that is that we want to be sure that whatever we say, whatever we design, whatever we want to do happens with accuracy and precision, that our lives are full of this aspect of integrity, that we have accuracy and that people can trust us, that we are reliable, that we have things that when we say they will happen, they happen.
The quality of integrity means that there is no difference between the Word of God and the actions of God. This means that if God says it will happen, it will happen. If there is no space where God is not, then that means that all that is cooperates and contributes to the process that God invokes and does so when and how it is told. This quality of integrity is crucial for the simple functioning of the universe, but it is even more critical for those that watch and look at God and Goddess. How can you put your total confidence and life in the hands of someone that you cannot rely on? If you get different results each time you do something similar, how will you be able to try something new? The level of consistency in actions by the universe is the standard by which every action depends. Many of you use the word faith to describe your sense of hope of what may occur. How can you have faith in a being or a process that is random or flaky in how it reacts each time? If God were to give unique responses to the same stimuli and then give these responses at intermittent intervals, what would you be willing to attempt in your lives? The only way that you could express your faith is if you have a vehicle that is consistently loving and persistently consistent. Once you know fully that you will always be treated with love and that the response is immediate, then you will be able to forge forward into new areas of growth and exploration.
See if you can grasp this beautiful concept, because it may be one of the most profound behavioral concepts in the whole universe. And if we could emulate this and be this, we would be as gods even more than we are now. The quality of integrity means that there is no difference between the Word of God and the actions of God. This means that if God says it will happen, it will happen. Think about that for a moment. What would be like in the world if when people said that it would happen, it would happen? How would things change? If you had the confidence in yourself to be able to say that and make it stick, our whole lives would change. Everything would be different, because then there is absolute assurance that things will happen, and then integrity exists in every moment. So amazing. Think about that. There is a very beautiful hidden statement here where God says, if there is no space where God is not, and then he continues. But I want to stop here to analyze this a little bit. There are no places where God is not. So, what does that mean about this nonsense, this lie, this travesty that has been taught to people throughout the ages that there is some place called hell that nobody can get to, including God? What about this lie that we're going to go someplace where God has no control, where love has no control, where we're just burning and putting up with whatever it is that whoever it is that is more nonsense, which is called the devil or Lucifer or whatever they made up? There is this place where we have to go. It's pure fabrication, it's pure BS. And I know I'm going to get some flack on this, but there is no evidence or support for this notion because of this statement that there is no space where God is not. Think about that. That means that God is love and love is God, and there's no place where there is not love. Now it continues. Then that means that all that is cooperates and contributes to the process that God invokes and does so when and how it is told. Isn't that an amazing level of confidence, amazing level of cooperation? That also means that there's no place like hell. Maybe some people would say there's no place like home either. There's no place like that, that this fabrication, this lie, because everything cooperates and contributes to the process that God invokes. Now, what does that say about this nonsense that people have invented, that there's this evil place, a place called hell, that we just simmer or cook? It's a lie. It doesn't exist. Now, he continues. The quality of integrity is crucial for the simple functioning of the universe. But it is even more critical for those that watch and look at God and Goddess. So interesting, because we're looking for models that we can trust, that we can rely on. And integrity has to be there fully for us to be able to rely on and trust. This is a great question. How can you put your total confidence and life in the hands of someone that you cannot rely on? How could we support our actions here on the earth if we didn't have something that we could totally rely on, that our efforts, our motivations, whatever it is we do, cannot be relied on to produce the kind of results and to produce the kind of love and care that we want to have happen? Can you imagine if what we did was loving and it turned into something wacky or hatred? It doesn't make any sense. But what they're talking about here is their integrity and the integrity of who they are, so that we can rely that when they say something, when nature does something, that we can trust it. So powerful. Great question here. How can you have faith in a being or a process that is random or flaky in how it reacts each time? Can you imagine doing some kind of scientific experiment where you put the chemicals in this way and put the chemicals in that way, or you're making cookies at home and it turns out a different way every time? Well, I mean, that's kind of normal for me. But this is the concept, is just that if there's not consistency in how these things react and what the outcomes are, it's very, very difficult. It's very confusing. If God were to give unique responses to the same stimuli and then give these responses at intermittent intervals, what would you be willing to attempt in your lives? Can you imagine how difficult that would be? If you had different responses to things where it was just random, or if you had a response where you tried something new and you tried something difficult, and then it happened intermittently, like where the results would just show up like on a subscription level. Can you see how confusing, how difficult that is? And so having this integrity in the universe, this confidence that things will happen when they do immediately, is so critical. It's just such a profound concept. The only way that you could express your faith is if you have a vehicle that is consistently loving and persistently consistent. It's a mouthful, isn't it? Expressing is impossible unless something is consistently loving and persistently consistent. Now, let me give you an example of this, and it's very personal. For over 35 years, I've had these conversations going on with the divine. And I can tell you that through tens of thousands of hours, I have never, ever had them flake on me or be inconsistent or be unloving. They have always stayed positive, helpful, consistently kind, even when I messed up, even when I've been a dumbass, even when I've just been stupid or impatient or angry or whatever it's been that I've been doing in my life. And there's been plenty of instances, I promise you. They've never, ever given up on me. They've never, ever left me alone. They've never, ever been angry at me or ran away or any of those kind of emotions that I think I have performed as a human being with other people. They've always been, as he says here, consistently loving and persistently consistent. I can tell you that with every fiber of my being that this is accurate, that you can totally, fully can trust and be able to be a part of this world of being with them because they are always, always persistently and they're consistent. Believe me on this one. I don't ask people to believe me on much, but this is one you can trust 100%. I guarantee it. Once you know fully that you will always be treated with love and that the response is immediate, then you will be able to forge forward into new areas of growth and exploration. Experiment with me just for a moment, will you please? Close your eyes, take a big, deep breath, and visualize feeling the love of the universe filling you up. Feel it coming through your bloodstream, through your air, everything, and filling you up with love. That love is always there. All you have to do is invoke it, feel it. It's going through every cell, every part of our body and our brain. Once you know that response is there, and you can do this anytime and prove it to yourself over and over and over again, and you know that the response is immediate, you notice it happened just instantaneously, then you will be able to forge forward into new areas of growth and exploration. And that's what I'm trying to encourage here, is to encourage your new areas of growth and exploration into some great areas with the great confidence that it will be always recognized and understood, and it'll be immediate, and it will enhance your life and everything around you. To summarize, this teaching reframes integrity not just as a moral choice, but as a fundamental law of physics and divinity. Here is how you can understand and implement this principle to create a more stable, powerful life. Number one, understand the true definition of an integrity. Action equals word. Integrity is the absolute lack of space between what you say and what you do. If you designate a result, you ensure it happens exactly as planned. Beyond honesty It isn't just not lying, it is the power to make things happen with expertise and precise detail. Number two, adopt the nature model of consistency. Predictability is power. Nature works because it is reliable. Sharks eat when they are hungry. The sun rises up on time. Chaos is held at bay because the universe doesn't take days off or work on a relaxed timetable. The importance of timing. Being early can be as destructive as being late. Don't tell my former bosses that, will you? True integrity requires precise timing, doing exactly what is needed and exactly when it was promised. Number three, build trust through reliability. Eliminate randomness. You cannot have faith in something that is flaky or random. To be a person of influence, you must provide a consistent experience for others. Confidence in growth. Just as we trust the tides and the moon, others can only put their confidence in you if they know your responses aren't intermittent or unique to your mood. Number four, use integrity as the foundation for faith. Faith is the vehicle. True faith isn't just hope. It is a response to a persistently consistent environment. Create safety. When you are consistently loving and reliable, you create a safe zone for yourself and others. The stability allows you to forge forward into new areas of growth without the fear of a random, harsh reaction. How do you implement this daily? Shrink the gap. Notice where your words and actions are drifting apart. Close that gap until they are one and the same. Master your schedule. Treat commitments with the same gravity as the rising sun. Avoid relaxed timetables for things that you have promised to do. Be consistent. Strive to be the most reliable element in your circle. When you become persistently consistent, you lower the chaos in your own life and the lives of those around you. The core takeaway from this is integrity is the energy by which nature is run. By aligning your actions perfectly with your word, you move from a life of hope and chaos to a life of divine power and exploration. This is one of the longest videos I've done, but this material is so powerful and so deep and so full of stuff that I needed to take some extra time with it. I'm not even done with the concept of integrity. So I'm going to develop a new video on the second aspect of integrity, and I'm hopeful you'll join me, because it's going to be great and a wonderful nuance from this first section. I'm so grateful for you to hang with me and to be with me for this period of time. I want to do what's perfect for you in terms of how your life can improve and benefit from these great ideas that I'm so grateful that I received. So this is the end of part A, and the next segment I'll bring up in a few days, and you can listen to that as well. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being my friend. I'm grateful. I'm deeply grateful to you for being here with me. Thank you, and I love you.